This week, I was reminded of a made-for-TV movie that came out in 1971 called I Am Third. What makes that movie so memorable is one of the reviews by a critic at the time made the observation that this was the movie that made it okay for men to cry. Welcome to one of our videos from St. Mark's Episcopal here in Dalton, Georgia, and welcome to all those joining us on Facebook and YouTube. Ironically, I have never seen the movie I Am Third, but I'm very familiar with the story. It's a story about two football players, Brian Piccolo and Gale Sayers. Now, I remember Piccolo as a player at Wake Forest University, and he did not play for a good team, but he was very effective in his senior year, had a great year. But he was too small and too slow for the pros, and he went undrafted. Nobody thought he would be able to play pro football. But through determination, he managed to stick it out as a substitute for the Chicago Bears. Gale Sayers was the opposite. He was special. He was very talented. Twice an All-American in college. He came into the pros and set a record for the most touchdowns in the season as a rookie, for everybody ever. So he was spectacular. The first few years that Gale Sayers was in the league, nobody was ever better. He was as good as anybody, if not better than anybody else has ever played. Unfortunately, he had a very severe knee injury after that and was never the same again. Both of Piccolo and Sayers came into the Chicago Bears as rookies, and they became friends. In fact, they became the first interracial roommates in the NFL, and best friends. Their families became best friends. As Sayers was spectacular, Piccolo struggled to stay with the team and to finally be adequate after a couple of years. Then Sayers had the serious knee injury and had to go through a lot of rehabilitation. Piccolo supported him and inspired him through the rehabilitation for his knee. Sayers was able to come back. He was not as good as he was, but he was still very good. Piccolo, tragically, about the same time, developed chest cancer. He could no longer play. In fact, his life was ending. After Sayers came back, he was voted by the NFL as the comeback player of the year and also as the most courageous player of the NFL. At the award ceremony, Sayers took the award and said, "I'm giving this to Brian Piccolo because he is really the most courageous one." He did give it to Piccolo. Shortly thereafter, Piccolo died at the age of 26. Soon after that, Sayers wrote a book about this experience, about his friendship, and about Piccolo's brave struggles. He called the book I Am Third. I Am Third. Unfortunately, the movie makers changed it to Brian's Song later on, but the original title was I Am Third. I Am Third reflects Sayers' life philosophy. It was taught to him by one of his high school coaches. The philosophy is that God is first, others are second, and I am third. In all choices, actions, and thoughts, there's God first, then others, then self. Jesus taught us to love God and to love neighbors. If God is not first, then it affects all other choices, actions, and thoughts in our lives. So God first, others second, and then ourselves. In the Episcopal Church, we end our Eucharist by saying we're instructed to go in peace and love and serve the Lord. God first, others second, and then we are third.